If you have around $1,200 to spend on a new gaming PC build, this video is going to be for you. I will show you the best PC build at this price point that's able to play at 4K resolution, 60 plus FPS on average, but it's also able to play at 1440p ultra settings with high FPS, or if you want 1080p, really high FPS as well. I will explain everything as simple as possible. That way, if you're a beginner, you understand what I'm talking about. And on top of that, I will give you the estimated FPS average so you can see what to expect when you buy this system. All the links for these components will be down below in the video description. With that being said, let's start. First, we have the CPU, the AMD Ryzen 5 7600. This one is a great 6-core 12-thread processor that is going to give you not only great performance now, but also a great future path if you want to upgrade your CPU down the line. Then for the CPU cooler, we have the Deepcool AG400. This one is a great ARGB CPU air cooler for $30 that is going to do an amazing job for our Ryzen 5, and I absolutely love the aesthetics for this cooler. Then for the motherboard, we have the MSI Pro B650M Wi-Fi Micro ATX motherboard. This one is from the AM5 platform, that's why it's going to be an upgradable system overall. It has plenty of features for gaming, and it comes with two M.2 slots, which I will talk about in a second. Then for the memory kit, we have the G.Skill Z5 Neo RGB 32 gigs of DDR5 memory. This one is 6000 MHz CL30 timings, meaning that it's really fast, and the price is high at $118, but honestly this one is a great kit, and you can save up some money if you do not want RGB in your system by going with a cheaper kit. You will have that alternative in the description as well if you don't like RGB. Then for the storage, we have the Crucial P3 2TB Gen 3 SSD for $78. Honestly, this one is great, really fast, and it's going to get the job done for gaming, content creation, and anything in between. And as I said before, the motherboard has two M.2 slots, so if you feel like 2 TB is not enough down the line, you can always upgrade with another kit. Then for the graphics card, and the most important component when it comes to gaming, we have the AMD RX 7800 XT for $500. This one is a 16 gigs of VRAM graphics card, meaning that it's going to be able to play even at 4K on ultra settings, and VRAM will not be an issue. And for you to see the estimated performance on a 15 game average at 4K resolution, the 7800 XT was able to average over 60 FPS, and on this test, really high demanding games were tested, and I'm talking about games like The Last of Us Part 1, Cyberpunk 2077, Hogwarts Legacy, so you can achieve even higher FPS if you turn on FSR, or if you want to play easier to run titles such as Fortnite, Valorant, CS2, GTA 5, all these type of titles, you will be able to achieve really high FPS, and you can get a high refresh rate monitor for it. And I will talk about the recommended monitor for this system at the end of the video. Anyway, on that same 15 game average, but this time at 1440p, the 7800 XT was able to average over 108 FPS, which is once again a really high number considering the games that were tested here. And if you want to play at 1440p, you will have a high FPS experience. And if you want to play at 1080p, it's even higher FPS at 147 FPS on average on that same 15 game average. And for you to see a more specific test on Spider-Man Remastered at 4K, very high quality, the 7800 XT was able to hit 87 FPS on average, and then over 70 FPS on average in Resident Evil 4. Usually at this price point, I do recommend you considering the RTX 4070 because you get a better level of ray tracing and you also get DLSS 3. However, right now the RTX 4070 is $580 on the minimum, so it's gonna be much more expensive for a GPU that performs slightly worse in terms of rasterized performance, and it has 12 gigs of VRAM instead of 16 gigs. If they are about the same price while you are watching this video, because prices change over time, so it's not the same as when I'm recording this video, but if the price difference is $50 or more, I highly recommend you the 7800 XT, especially if you want to play at 4K resolution because of that VRAM. Anyway, with the rest of the components, we have the Bitfinex Nova Mesh Micro ATX mini case. This one has 3 pre-installed fans, a beautiful front mesh panel, great airflow overall for just $53. This is not the most high-end case, but remember we are prioritizing performance here, and if you want better aesthetics, I will leave a different case in the description as well for a higher price in case you have more money to spend and you want a more premium quality one. However, this one will get the job done and you will have no issues when it comes to noise levels and thermals for your CPU and GPU, which is the most important part. And last but not least, we have the power supply, and I went with the NZXT CA50. This is an 850 watt 80 plus volt power supply, totally totally overkill for this type of build, but honestly I went with this one in case you want to make some future upgrades, and I'm talking about a really big GPU upgrade. For example, down the line you want to put the RTX 4080, or you want to upgrade the CPU to something that's power hungry, then this 850 watt 80 plus gold power supply will support it and you will not have to buy another one. Another good thing about this power supply is that it's A-tier rated, meaning that it's the best quality out there. The total price for this system is $1,220, and if you want to keep the price on the lower side, then you can go with 1TB of SSD and keep the stock cooler for the CPU, the Ryzen 5 7600, and if you make those two downgrades, you can save around $40 to $80. And if you want to buy a new monitor, the one that I recommend for this system is the Gigabyte M27Q. This is a 27-inch 170Hz 1440p monitor with an IPS panel and a 0.5 millisecond of response time. Overall, a great monitor, really good colors, and it's going on a discount for $250. It used to be $300. I will leave this one in the description as well. But what I love about this monitor is the price to performance and the balance between quality and high refresh rate. I recommend you a 4K monitor if you already have one. If you don't have one, then I highly recommend a 1440p monitor, since I do believe it's the best option if you want really good quality but also a fast gaming experience where you can get high FPS. And if you want a different PC for 1440p resolution, then I do recommend you watching my latest video on the top 3 best 1440p gaming PC builds for all budgets, where I go over a budget option, a mid-range one, and ultra option. You will have that video in the top right of the screen. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.